Chris, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Samantha, and thank you for inviting Bourse Africa.
Great to have you with us. Let's talk about exactly how the structure will work, because we've been very excited about the prospects for creating a Pan-African exchange. It's much needed in the continent, but structurally, what is the plans with regards to linking up with various exchanges? I mean, which national exchanges have you got on board already?
Samantha, let me start off by saying the structure of our project has got different layers. We have the hub, which is based in Botswana, where we are going to list US dollar denominated contracts. And on the back of the technology hub that we have established, we are able to support national exchanges across the continent. So we will submit to set up Bourse Kenya, Bourse Nigeria, Bourse Ghana. And the whole idea is to partner with locals so that we can establish local exchanges that complement and connect with the hub in Botswana.
How will these tie up with the exchanges that are already in those countries? And of course, the big standout would be the JSE in South Africa, being the largest exchange by far on the continent.
I think South Africa is a big market. I think it needs maybe one or two players. So we are going to perhaps compete and establish to grow the market. But in smaller economies, we are cooperating with the small exchanges that are currently in existence with the view of increasing their technology capabilities so that we can open up and have more transactions being traded. So
it doesn't make sense basically to set up a new exchange in the likes of Zambia, where you've only got X amount of stocks listed and they're looking to grow already. It makes sense rather to go in holding the hands with already established exchanges there.
Yeah, Samantha, our focus is commodity spot and derivatives. So in terms of design, we are not like JSE, but we are seeking to organize the spot market as well as the derivatives market. And if you go to Zambia, you will note that most African countries have got physical commodities. So we need to organize the spot market so that there's better price transparency and the producers can get price discovery. Now,
Go ahead.
More importantly, what we are looking for is to connect the different parts of the market. We have the spot activities and the derivatives activities, and that completes the circuit. Spot for the physical and the derivatives for your price risk management, arbitrage and hedging. So I think we are creating a locally accessible platform where the ordinary person can also have access to the exchange. We want to demystify the view that trading on the exchange is an elitist game. Because of new technologies that have been introduced, we will be able to offer something very simple.
Okay, so that brings me to the question around technology. You've got Financial Technologies Limited as the key shareholder, the key funder of this project. They've got a lot of experience specifically in India. How does their model translate to Africa?
Samantha, the biggest strength in our project is the fact that we own the technology platform and we've been able to customize it to speak to the different segments that we want to trade on our platform. We have a successful spot exchange, we have a successful derivatives exchange, and we have a successful currency exchange. And what we are seeing is we are simply taking that and establishing a Pan-African model based on the competencies that we already have. So we will be able to have the spot transactions. We are able to do currencies all on one platform, and the domain expertise that is accumulated over the years is going to benefit the different national exchanges that we are going to partner with.
Let's go back to the JSE, because of course you mentioned the fact that there's space for another exchange here in South Africa. That's of course another topic, but are you looking to try and partner with them? Because the JSE has had a plan on the table for some years now, a Pan-African exchange. Of course, as you say, the focus here is commodities and derivatives, but if the JSE doesn't come in and partner with you, can you go at it alone without them?
Yes, definitely we can go ahead. And by design, we are different models, so we will seek to partner in areas of growing the market, but where we are able to establish our own niche based on our business model, that's exactly what we are going to do.
Talk to us about the timeline. When is this platform going to be up and running? What are your hopes in terms of the asset classes that you're looking to focus on first?
I would say early October, we should be able to launch US dollar denominated contracts out of our Botswana hub. And the implementation plan going forward will very much depend on how quickly we are able to secure licenses. We are at different stages in different countries. In some countries, we've submitted our licensing application for the sports
Which countries are most likely to come on board right now?
There are a number of countries that the whole of the continent excites us because there are different commodities and in different countries. But the bigger markets like Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, Zambia, Tanzania, those are markets that we are actually quite advanced in terms of our discussions with the relevant authorities.
And the authorities, the head, Oscar Nyema, are you talking to those exchanges and talking about ways in which you can use this to enhance trade, perhaps in Nigeria specifically?
Definitely, yes.
How are you going to ensure that once the exchange is up and running, you have depth of market at the get-go to make sure that there's that efficiency from the beginning in terms of price discovery and making sure there's enough liquidity in the market and volumes?
Yeah. We have to tap into markets that are more organized. If you look at the African terrain, outside South Africa, the depth of markets for commodity derivatives, the understanding is a bit on the low side. So we are going to ride on the back of an established market, that a brokerage community that already exists in South Africa, and hopefully take them across. But interestingly, there's a lot of interest from banks that have also been denied access to risk management schemes that are existing in other developed markets. So there's a lot of interest from banks. We are hoping to build a fairly solid brokerage community across the continent, and integral to our plan is significant investment in capacity building. So we are not short-term players. We do appreciate the fact that we've got a very big project ahead of us, but we've got the financial muscle, we've got the technology, and we've got the resources to build the capacity across the continent.
Resources, money-wise, I mean, the financial technology has been a main backer right now. Tell us about the cost of this project.
We're talking of a project of minimum $100 million, all equity funded, and we are a private sector driven initiative.
Who are the other key shareholders?
By design, in the first phase, we have selectively targeted Pan-African institutional investors besides the promoter Financial Technologies India Limited. I'm glad to say that the African Export-Import Bank have already approved the project, so they will be taking up a 10% stake. We are now in advanced stages in finalizing discussions with 2 Pan-African institutional investors, very high profile, and we're quite excited that we will have the project fully underwritten with private equity to sustain us for the foreseeable future.
Talking about the international community, is this an exchange that you're also creating for international investors? Are you going to try and win the support of the international brokerage community?
We are targeting all parts of, we are targeting the global markets, the domestic market as well as the regional markets. And we are seeking to tap the brokerage community from the 3 layers.
How easy are you going to make it for someone to register on this exchange? I mean, where do you find information about this? If you're a broker out there, and this is obviously spiking interest right now, what is the next step?
Samantha, the models have already been developed. With good access to technology, information can be made available as to how you can access the exchange. But capacity building, again, is going to be key. We are going to work with the grassroots, with the different stakeholders in the supply chain to make sure that the level of awareness at each and every stage is developed to the extent that people appreciate how to access an exchange. But we've got our partners that we are developing different schemes with, all with the intention of developing interest from the different segments of our markets. Well,
certainly is a need that you've identified and looking to fill that gap. Thank you so much for joining us today. Chris Goromonzi, CEO of Bourse Africa.